Do you spend hours each week creating Instagram content, but you're still not getting the sales and the wins that you see everyone and their mom sharing to their feed? It's really rough, but there's usually just a few simple changes you need to make to get there, and I'm going to help you. You are closer than you think. You can find the exact gaps that you have in your Instagram strategy, the gaps that are holding you back from getting clients from your content with my free Find and Fix the Gaps in Your Instagram Strategy quiz. All you have to do is take 5 minutes to fill out the quiz and you will get the exact roadmap you need to start getting sales from your Instagram content. Get your copy of the quiz at sociallyyours.biz/findandfixed. All spelled out, all one word, find and fixed, or check the link in the show notes. Welcome to episode 63 of Mompreneur Mastery. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I am starting a new series with this episode being the first in the series called Audit for Profit. The idea behind this series is to show you how to stop wasting time on efforts that don't pay off so you can focus on what really works, because I know you do not have time to waste. So for the next couple episodes, we're just going to talk about a few key components of your Instagram strategy that you should be auditing, how often to do it, and how to do it. And today we're going to start with your profile. Welcome to the Mompreneur Mastery Podcast, where we share actionable Instagram strategies that fit into a busy mom schedule so that you can get more engagement, more leads, and more sales in less time. I'm Sydney O'Brien, an Instagram strategist who started my business with 3 kids under 5 and found a way to do it without sacrificing quality time with my family and only working 2 hours a day. I love helping other mom business owners find that seemingly impossible mom work-life balance instead of spending too much time creating content that isn't getting them the results they want. If you're an overwhelmed but very ambitious business owner and you want to strategize the heck out of your Instagram account so that you can save time and make more sales, you're in the right place. I feel like so many of us are so busy. We're always trying to just make slight tweaks and hop on trends to get the sales that our businesses need, because it can be really hard to find the time to sit down and look over what you have done and make a plan to move forward strategically. But in the long run, it saves you so much time and the benefits are amazing. It makes it so you're not wasting time creating content that isn't going to end up getting you sales, right? When we audit the different parts of our Instagram strategy, it just makes sure that we are focusing our energy and our time on the right thing, because I know that you don't have time to waste. So like I said, in today's episode, we're going to cover how to audit your Instagram profile to ensure it's optimized for your ideal client so that it actually drives conversions, okay? We're going to talk about why it's important, how often you should do it, how to know it's time to do it, and all of that good stuff. So first things first. Why your profile matters for sales. It makes sense it matters for followers, but let's talk about why it matters for sales. It's the first thing your new followers see, right? You've got just a couple of seconds to grab their attention. And if your profile isn't clear, if it's not aligned with your business, if it's not aligned with your target audience, it's not going to lead people to the next step, which means they're not going to follow you. They're not going to buy from you. And honestly, it's more than just your name and your bio. The links, your call to action in your bio for whatever link you're sharing in your profile, and even your highlights. These are 2 really big things, not just for followers and having the right followers, but also for sales, right? Because these are the links, these are the things people click to get to more information about either offers or getting on a call with you, things like that. So these things also need to be audited and optimized. And then again, of course, followers, growth, all of that is really good. So you can get new leads, so you can get new clients or customers, depending on what offer you're sharing on your profile. Making sure that your profile is optimized, make sure the right people are finding you and following you. It's all about discoverability and converting those random Instagram onlookers to actual followers. So then they can go follow through the rest of your strategy that helps them go from follower to paying client or customer. So this is just the first step. The actual profile the name and the bio there in your profile. And then the link and the highlights are really more for that conversion piece after they are followers, working alongside the rest of your content, the rest of your strategy. For example, I had a client I did a profile audit for. Her bio there didn't have a strong call to action. So after auditing it, we made some key changes, and within just, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks, she saw 15% increase in her website clicks, which meant more leads because it was going to her lead magnet, which meant more sales. So do not underestimate the importance of auditing your profile. Your profile needs regular attention. A good rule of thumb is to audit it around every quarter or so, or if you're launching a new offer, sharing a new lead magnet, if there's anything really big coming up, or making any changes in your brand, you would want to review it then. Otherwise, stick to once a quarter just to make sure it's still doing what it needs to do, it's still working, and it's still accurate for your business and your target audience. Things to think about is the goals of your business. If your services have changed, if you're promoting something new, if you have a new lead magnet, your profile should reflect that. So definitely keep that in mind when you are making changes to your profile. And again, this is for all aspects of your profile. It's not just the bio itself. It's the highlights, the link you share in your bio, all of that. If you are changing anything in your branding or your messaging outside of your profile, like in your content, in your email marketing, on your website, you want to make sure it's consistent. So make sure you update it if those changes happen, because that consistency builds a lot of trust with your audience, which has a big effect on sales, converting followers into clients or customers. Some signs you might need to audit your profile, signs it might be time. Again, if it's a new quarter and you haven't done it yet, get on it. You can always check your insights and see if people are visiting your profile, but they're not clicking through to your links or actually following you. That is a major sign that your profile needs a revamp. If your branding feels disconnected, if the terms you're using in your profile are old, they're out of date, if your highlights are advertising things that you don't have anymore, it's definitely time to update it. And then I can't really think of a nicer way to say this, but basically if your bio or your call to action in your bio is just like weak, if it's not hitting, if it's not clear, it's time to update it. It needs to explain what you do and who you help in a very clear, concise way that will resonate with your super specific target audience, and it needs to have a very strong call to action that encourages people seeing your profile to take the next step, which can be hard given there's a limited number of characters you have to work with, but it is possible. It might just take some playing around with to make that happen. But some steps to ask yourself when you are auditing your profile to make sure that it helps you get more sales. First, look at the name. Does it have your name? It should have at least your first name in there. And then it should also explain kind of what you do as well. It needs both of those things, and it should have searchable terms in there so that it can help your account show up in searches when people are looking specifically for someone like you. And then the next thing you want to look at is your bio. Ask yourself, does this clearly explain who I am, what I do, and how I help my people? If not, change it so it does. That is the first thing people look at, and it needs to be so clear, and it needs to really just click with your ideal customer. The next thing to look at is your profile image. Is it easily recognizable? Is it consistent with your brand? Is it professional? Is it clear? Like, we don't want a blurry picture or something that's super busy that it detracts from your face. Make sure it's a quality photo that's not too busy, not blurry, and is an accurate representation of like you in your business. I'm not saying you have to go out and spend a bunch of money on professional headshots, but it should be on brand. And then look at the link in your bio. Make sure that is strategic. I know you can have multiple links in your bio, but I always recommend just using one, so it's not confusing, and you can have one single call to action at the end of your bio, directing them to take a very specific action in the link. like say if you're using a tool like Linktree, you don't want a ton of links in there, but some very few key ones. One should be a lead magnet if you have one. If you have some kind of core content like a blog or podcast, you could do that, but you want to keep it very simple. When you do too much, people get confused and they don't take any action at all. So as few links as possible. And then highlights. And I feel like this is one that people, myself included, fail to update most frequently. Audit your highlights. Are they organized? Are they up to date? If you have things based on services or offerings that you're selling, is all of that information still accurate? And again, this is another thing where you don't want to have too many because no one's going to scroll through all of them and watch a whole bunch of old ones to get to the thing they want. Delete the really old ones. Take some time to do it. If they're not relevant, don't keep them in there. Because when someone does watch your highlight, it starts at the oldest ones first. So if you have really old ones in there from a year or two ago about things you don't offer anymore, if your business has pivoted, if your offer suite has changed, don't keep them. It doesn't make sense. So make sure you're deleting those. People will go to your profile and try and get a feel for you and your offers. Make sure they can do that easily using your highlights. And again, just like links, you don't want to have too many highlights. You want there to be 4, maybe 5 total. All right. So making sure your profile is optimized, make sure that you're attracting the right people, that they're actually going to follow you so they can see your content, engage with it, connect with it, and eventually become a paying client or customer. And also so they can easily utilize the links and the highlights to learn more about you and buy from you easier, right? You want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward with your profile and leading visitors down the path to become customers. This is just the very first foundational step in an Instagram strategy. And that's why I wanted to start with it in this Audit for Profit series. So if you're not seeing results you want from your profile, an audit can reveal these gaps, helping you make these tweaks that can just lead to more growth. And not just any growth. When we talk about growth, we always, always, always want growth from ideal followers, not just random people in our target audience that will eventually buy from us, right? Otherwise, it doesn't super matter. So making sure your bio specifically is optimized helps to do that. And then optimizing the other things with your links, your call to action, your highlights, just helps them go down that path from follower to client or customer. If you haven't audited your profile in a while, or even if you have, I would absolutely love it if you would find me on Instagram. I'm socially.yours.strategist, and send me a message just telling me when the last time you did it was. That's it. Just say the last time I audited my profile was a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. I am super interested to see the responses and how often people are normally doing this. Just curious. And then in the next episode, we're going to dive into auditing engagement. Engagement is kind of like a buzzword when it comes to Instagram, but it is important. There are ways you can get more of it. It is something that can be audited, and it is important for sales. Well, the right kind of it is. We're going to get into all of that next week, so head back on Monday. And if you are feeling stuck or unsure where to start with your profile audit, stay tuned because I will be offering a personalized Instagram strategy audit service that goes deeper into everything we have talked about and so much more. It's going to be part of a Black Friday sale. So get excited and make sure you are on my email list so you don't miss any updates about that. Thank you so much for listening. I can't wait to hear about when the last time you audited your profile was. And I look forward to being back in your earbuds next week to talk about auditing your engagement. Thank you so much for listening to Mompreneur Mastery, simple Instagram strategy for busy moms. If you found this episode helpful, if you are nodding along at any point or wanted to take notes, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes, and also leave a rating and review so that more mompreneurs can benefit from this information. And don't forget to find and fix the gaps in your Instagram strategy so you can make more sales with the free quiz in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and I can't wait to be back in your earbuds next week.